What's up, y'all? It's KingBritneyChanel. You already know. So I never thought I would see the day, honey, when Remy Ma would side with Nicki Minaj. Yes, honey, on this Joe Budden situation. Before we get into the video, definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope y'all enjoy my commentary on this. So before we get started, definitely make sure you hit that notification bell and personalize your settings so that you don't miss any of my videos, live streams, premieres, or anything else that I put up on this channel. All right, so I never thought I would see the day, y'all, that Remy, Reminisce, Mackie would ever side or understand, agree with anything Nicki Minaj has ever done or had to say, honey. But she did in this Joe Budden situation. Now, when I put the first video that I did out, it was a lot of people that, sided with Joe. They felt like Nicki was doing too much. They felt like, why did she go after him like that? But I kind of understood it. And I'm glad that finally female rappers are saying something about how the unfairness just goes on. Like, the criticism on them is much harsher than the criticism on, I would say, male rappers who could be subpar. They don't have to really put in a lot of work, and people just praise them because, they're male rappers, and they could be mediocre. And I think Remy has talked about this before. I feel like Remy Ma is one of the, the hardest rappers out there. I wouldn't even say female because she could hold her own. I definitely can understand when Remy Ma gives commentary on a lot of things, because she has been vocal about a lot of things in hip-hop, and she tells it exactly how it is sometimes. And she's talked a little bit about the industry stuff that she's seen and all of that. So when she gave her commentary on it, I was like, okay, I can understand, that's real. Now, I'm on Hot New Hip Hop, and this was written by Mitch Finlay, posted August the 20th, 2019. And this whole Nicki Minaj, Joe Budden situation, it has, honey, taken a life of its own. It's trending. A lot of people are like, Team Joe. A lot of people, being the Barbs, is Team Nicki. And, surely we never thought we would see the day that Remy agreed with anything that Nicki Minaj had to say, but she did. So they say here, Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj are, they're certainly not friends. This is no secret. Merely 2 years removed from their, y'all remember that Sheetha situation and no fraud situation, making the bulk of, I'm not going to even say that, but basically, y'all, we remember them for that situation, them going back and forth with Sheetha, no frauds, and that being like a popular moment, a viral moment on this internet and everything else. Like, people are going to remember that in hip-hop for a long time. So both Remy and Nicki Minaj appear to have moved on from one another. That's not to say old wounds have healed, only they'd be able to attest to that. And I like that. I like that they said that, because people don't understand. Like, to be mature sometimes, you don't necessarily have to, even if a person is somebody that you don't necessarily like, or they're not your cup of tea, you don't have to, like, be mean to them or, wish them not well. So that's the mature thing to do. I've seen this happen, on YouTube with, a popular YouTuber, and then the people, they turn on the popular YouTuber, and then people just want to put everything on the YouTuber and make it seem like, everything that they do is just a bad thing. And I've had to be the one to say, I don't necessarily agree with this person and how they're moving. However, I'm not going to, just pile on just all of these claims and things on a person. Or if it was a moment where I could understand and sympathize with a person or empathize with a person, I could be fair. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's a part of being an adult. Like, when you could be fair, even if you don't necessarily like a person, or you don't necessarily like how they move. And we see that here with Remy. Like, Remy has had her issues with Nicki Minaj, has had, her run-ins with Nicki Minaj, but she said, maturely, listen, I can understand how you could feel like a person that you thought was your friend, y'all were cool, and then you hear them talking on the radio or different places, and you like, well, wait a minute, I didn't know we was there like that. What? If you an adult person, I'm sure a lot of us have been there before, that you thought somebody that you was cool with, and then, they say something about you, and they're being vocal about something, and you like, wait, why didn't you hit my line type stuff? Why would you go out and say that publicly? Or if you had a problem with me, you should have brought that to me. So that's really what she's agreeing with. So it says, they go on to say, given that both women have since moved on into the world of media broadcast, a return to the subject, at least to an extent, feels inevitable. Such was indeed the case of the latest State of the Culture episode, which found Remy, Joe Budden, and Jinx discussing Nicki and Joe's recent ordeal, okay? So they go on to say, if Remy is harboring even the slightest feelings toward her old foe, it's nearly impossible to tell, as she tells it. Which Remy is probably living her best life. She has had her daughter. She's married. She has her other children. And she's having and enjoying her family moments. Like, who has time to be worried about a person that they don't necessarily care for and having that dictate or run your life? No. Who's doing that? Like, I done forgave people a long time ago for stuff they done did to me years ago, and every time those people kind of see you, it's kind of like they get paranoid like a roach when the lights come on. That's because that's a guilty conscience that people be dealing with. But people have to learn to forgive themselves and move on. I talk about that in my book as well. So if y'all haven't checked out my book, definitely check out my book, because I talk about forgiveness and having self-forgiveness in there. And my book is available on Amazon. I will put the link in the description box or comment section below. But, it seems like Remy probably has, she ain't forget about the situations, but she seems like she's not trying to be petty or harbor on, things. It's just, that's not a way to live your life. That type of, worrying about every little thing that a person has ever done to you. You have to just be the bigger person sometimes and not let that stop you from nothing. Now, sometimes you might have to, check a person every now and again. But if that's not an everyday thing, you shouldn't focus on negativity. It should only be you focusing on positivity in your life. So I think that's where Remy is at from me viewing the situation. And I think Nicki Minaj is just like, let me focus on other career avenues herself. So she says she understood some of Nicki's positions. I got some of the things she was saying, explains Remy, because I know how that feels to feel like people that was supposed to be your friends or people you thought you was cool with, and then they say some left field stuff. You be like, yo, I thought we was all right. It's upsetting. It makes you angry. It makes you want to comfort them. I know how that feels. And I must say that I have to agree with that, because we've seen people, when Nicki Minaj was the it girl of rap, that they was riding her wave. They had nothing but good things to say about her. And it seems like as soon as, it was the bandwagon or trendy thing to do to go, after Nicki Minaj, and everybody wanted to just, I would say at one time, get on this bandwagon crusade to, go for Nicki Minaj. And it's kind of petty, because you've seen men trying to get involved with situations that had to do with females, going back and forth. And that's the thing that I did not like about the situation the most. I've seen people, now Nicki Minaj, I'm not saying that she's, that she doesn't have her personality, or people didn't experience things with Nicki Minaj, because I don't know, I wasn't there. But I've heard different rappers and people say talk about their experiences, so I'm being fair here. But I've also seen, while I'm saying that, I've also seen men get involved and be extra petty when them same men didn't have nothing but good things to say about her, and then out the blue here when it's not necessarily, she's not necessarily like the it girl of rap anymore, because there's so many up and coming new faces, and she's, everybody has their time, and then the new person comes. So Nicki has definitely, I would say, left her mark in hip hop, I would say, the same way every other female rapper before her. So it's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with making space for the youth and people, up and coming. Like, it happens to everybody. Like, you have your time, and then it's somebody else's time, to take over the reins and all of that. But I definitely seen some sideways stuff. I seen Akademiks talking his little stuff on the thing, but she did call him a side chick, so I could understand him saying that. But it's, Joe did have to acknowledge that he said some stuff that it was like, Joe, come on, it's looking like, were you kind of feeding into the whole situation that was going on with the ladies? Because he brought up situations. He brought up that Cardi and Nicki situation, and Joe knows both ladies, Remy and Cardi, from the whole Love and Hip Hop franchise, and probably just being in the industry, period. But I could kind of tell from certain commentary that it could have been some feelings, because he knew those ladies, and he was saying stuff. Nicki had the receipts. He was caught saying things, and I just feel like Nicki Minaj's thing, to me, I just felt like I could understand her being upset, but why did you call him on the show to do all of that? But I guess also, and this is what Jinx was saying on the show, he feels like Nicki doing that was calculated, like, she meant to step with Joe, I guess, to step to Joe as if, she's not one to be messed with. And also, Joe kind of felt like, and Jinx kind of felt like she's positioning herself to eventually transition into the media market. And this is a quote that they say, I think this is from Joe, they're saying, I think at some point she will figure out how to further her career or dedicate more time in this field as opposed to rap, muses Joe. Remy wonders if that's what Nicki actually wants, but Joe already seems convinced. So y'all can see this full segment if y'all did not on State of the Culture, but it's definitely, it got the internet like, what is going on? And I think if Nicki Minaj does want to get onto the media side of things, she's definitely making waves with Queen Radio, because every time, there's an episode, it's always some type of drama filled or, trending type of moment on there. We could recall several moments on there where it was like, what? People are like, did you listen to Queen Radio? So, I mean, I could see Nicki being a popular media personality. People already like her personality, like people that rock with Nicki, because I'm not really a Nicki Minaj fan, but people that rock with Nicki, they kind of feel like she has a fun personality or whatever. But Joe gonna feel the way Joe feel, because Joe, let's just be honest, Joe basically got told off on that episode of Queen Radio. He literally she was not playing with him. She wanted him to know all that little sneak dissing that she was doing, I'm not here for it. And you just have to be prepared when you're doing commentary to be prepared for somebody to address you. Because she basically told him, you're used to people not being able to respond to the claims or commentary that you're making about them. But I say that goes for anybody that's doing commentary. You have to be prepared for people to say or to address you about certain things or assumptions that you're making about them. Because honestly, I kind of got a part of what Joe was saying. The industry is something that is a calculated type of thing. But I also got what Nicki Minaj was saying when she was saying that people that you think that you're cool with come out and say things about you, because I'm sure we've all had that happen where you think you okay with a person, they don't let you know that they feel a certain type of way, and then the next time you see them they saying something sideways. People do two-faced stuff all the time. I mean, we could probably give, if we all sat here in the premiere or the comment section, we could probably all give a moment to where somebody was two-faced or said different stuff about us. So I like how Remy just, said something that was just, cool just because, like I said, women in the industry, it seems like people's criticism of them is much harsher than men. And I'm glad she kind of just was real on the point. Even though, they're not friends, let's just be honest. People do be coming for female rappers, and they don't hold the men to the same standards. What are y'all's thoughts on this whole situation? It's KingBritneyChanel, you already know, and I will see y'all on the next video. Definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope y'all enjoyed this commentary today. See y'all soon. Alright, so before I go, y'all, I just thought that y'all would get a little kick out of this. So DJ Akademiks, remember I told y'all that he was on social media himself going in on Nicki Minaj. He basically says, this is what it says on allhiphop.com. DJ Akademiks basically, I'm gonna say, goes in on Nicki Minaj, says Megatron flop, your solo music is old. So he goes on to say, and this is by Johannes Kyles. Let me give y'all the breakdown of this. Now, let me get the statement corrected. So Nicki Minaj, remember on her interview, or when Joe Budden went to Queen Radio, she kept calling DJ Akademiks the side chick, or no, the sidekick, excuse me, because I said side chick the first time in the video. So the sidekick, and she mentioned something about him looking like Alvin and the Chipmunks and all that other stuff, right? So they say here, DJ Akademiks is probably in the internet crosshairs of Nicki Minaj's Barb's fan base at the moment. The Everyday Struggle host recently, he kind of went or came for Nicki Minaj during a live stream after she referred to him as a chipmunk on Joe Budden's sidekick on Queen Radio. So y'all remember that, right? So she posted, the Queen is in, this is on Beats One, the Queen is in, tap into at Nicki Minaj's Queen Radio, and that was on Twitter, right? So let's read the quotes that Akademiks has been on this internet saying about Nicki Minaj. Megatron flop, said Akademiks. Megatron went on the charts and fell the blank off in 4 weeks. She can't stay on the charts unless it's a remix or somebody's song who's already been popping. He later added, your music when you're making full songs is old and regurgitated, which a lot of people have said that about Nicki Minaj's stuff. Like, they want to see growth when it comes to Nicki Minaj. I've said it before myself. Like, you kind of want to see some growth and some change. You can only be that type of bad female forever, and you start to get older, so it should just be some growth. And I think that the lady, it was a lady, I don't know if she was working for Karen Civil or something like that, but she kind of said a similar comment that she wanted to hear, more positive things when it came to Nicki Minaj, like, her, stuff, grown women stuff, like being a wife, a mother, and that sort of thing. Or, we want to hear about Nicki Minaj taking her daughter to preschool, like how she's saying her songs and different things like that, and her just living her best life, not necessarily the same old same. Y'all know the same old, y'all my sons, and all the rest of that. Like, that be the lines in every song. But anyway, it says Nicki's latest solo single, Megatron, debuted at number 20 in July before falling 72 spots to number 92 the following week. The song is no longer present on the Hot 100 chart. This week, Meg Thee Stallion's Hot Girl Summer featuring Minaj and Ty Dolla Sign opened at number 11. But to also be fair, everybody has their moment to where it's their time to shine, and then there's new people. So that doesn't mean that the person, because people always want to talk about people falling off. Those charts, people know how those charts get down. We not even gonna be placing all validity on no charts, because we already know out here in these streets. Because some of the realest rappers never make the charts or don't chart, and we know that they're real out here. And then some of the lamest rappers be charting. So I don't even look at the whole chart situation. Now, I mean, I do feel like that's a move for a lot of rappers to hop on, you know, a younger rapper's songs, and it does something for two people. It does something for the person whose song they're hopping on, because they're getting a cosign, and then the older rapper gets to remain relevant to a newer crowd as well. So let's stop making it seem like Nicki Minaj don't have a whole fan base still, please. So once again, I feel like this is also the males trying to once again be petty and involve Cardi a certain type of way. So he says here on Twitter, salutes to the Barbs. A bunch of them just hit me up trying to be friends. Y'all are one of the best fan bases. Love y'all. We gonna help y'all get a little stronger. No more number twos. So it's clear Akademiks out here being petty. So Akademiks went on to compare Nicki Minaj to her current arch rival Cardi B, which I feel like this is once again men trying to get into females' business. If y'all feel like Nicki and Cardi got something going on, then let them sort that out. If you ain't nowhere, you know, I would say affiliated to either women, like their husbands or whoever, then it's no need for you to be involving yourself and to keep trying to rehash that. We don't, because I certainly don't want to see two women going at each other just in general. I feel like that's lame. I don't want to see that. It was entertaining the first time, but if Remy could say I understand you and understand where she coming from and be the bigger person, then surely these men could be out here being the bigger person instead of being petty and bringing this up. And this is exactly what Joe did when he was kind of boxed into a corner on Queen's Radio when she was presenting him with receipts. Stop involving Cardi B in your drama with other people. Cardi B don't have nothing to do with you going back and forth with Nicki Minaj about stuff that you said. And that's exactly what people who really, they're not really roasters, or they don't really, you know how to come back at a person. That's exactly what they do. They always talking about somebody else's situation that a person had with the person. Stand on your own and stop bringing Cardi B into your pettiness. That's just how I feel about that. So he goes, you could rap better than Cardi, but Cardi is making better songs. This is 2019. And he basically say that, I'm not going to say what he said exactly, but he said people care about songs. That's not necessarily true though. Because I know I'm not going to listen to nobody that sound like trash just because they on a chart. Like, we all know Akademiks. Nobody takes his hip-hop credibility. People that really is hip-hop, nobody really takes. Y'all seen how the whole situation went with several of these rappers and different entertainers out here when they think about Akademiks' credibility and his point of view on hip-hop. So I just don't think that Akademiks is in a position to tell somebody musically whether they're hot or not. That's just my opinion, because of some of the stuff he has said on Everyday Struggle, as well as some of hip-hop's, MVPs and veterans and legendary folks in hip-hop saying what they have said about Akademiks. And he oftentimes does not know how to go over the paperwork according to these people that have said that. So she shouldn't take anything that Akademiks is saying seriously, because who is Akademiks really to say who's hot and who's not in hip-hop? Now, I will give Akademiks the credit to say that he has built a following and influence. People do look for Akademiks and they do like Akademiks. But I'm just gonna say, for me personally, I do not look to Akademiks as anybody that knows about relevance. It's just like, we've seen him be a fan of people instead of trying to interview people. We've seen him just do a lot of what people would call cornball activity out here in these streets. Now, while the YouTube commentator referred to Nicki as a queen and a legend, he also claimed that the New York-raised rapper is washed and obsessed with Cardi B and is a professional. Y'all know, I'm going to say a professional, I'm going to say Vic. So AK then claimed he would spend the next few months highlighting Nicki Minaj's music failures. This is just pure, once again, we bringing up Cardi B, because typically that's what people say that a person is. They when the new person come in, they always trying to say that the older person is obsessed. They said the same thing about Lil Kim. In honest times, it's a lot of people that are petty trying to pit different people against each other. Now, it's people that really got their issues with Nicki Minaj. Like I said, I'm not overlooking that, y'all, but I'm saying I'm pointing out the just foolishness that these men do, and they keep trying to bring up Cardi B in situations that don't have anything to do with Cardi B because they're trying to deflect. Cardi B had nothing to do with the situation between her talking about him and Joe Budden and different things, but you seen both him and Joe bringing up the Cardi B situation to try to deflect what she was talking about in that interview and other things. I'ma just point that out there. Cause she didn't even she did mention about that motorsport thing, and that's when Joe started trying to, I guess, agitate the situation by mentioning all of that with the Cardi situation and all of that. So I just really don't see the point. I mean, I don't think Nicki Minaj should really respond to Akademiks. It's clear he's being petty, but you know, once again, she did call him a chipmunk. People over here, dudes, and they said exactly what I said. Dudes talking tough to chicks is the new wave now, huh? Generation Cupcake continues. I don't like Akademiks. So, I mean, people is up here really going in, but it is the new wave. Dudes like to insert themselves in females' situations nowadays. And I think it's just, if you just mind your business, people wouldn't have a problem with you. But that's why Nicki Minaj was saying that I'm going to stop dealing with these dudes. I'm going to have my husband deal with it, because you could see how they try to insert themselves. Who else I seen do this? DJ Self did that with the Nicki Minaj situation, where he tried to capitalize off of that Cardi B situation. When everybody was, you know, saying what they were saying about Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, he tried to hop in on a train of that. You know, or the tails of that, the bandwagons of that. Here we have him. Why are you mentioning Cardi B in a situation where she's talking to you? She's pressing you. Worry about yourself. Oh, but anyway, tell me y'all's thoughts on this. I thought y'all would get a good tickle out of this. And I'm about to get up out of here. Y'all give y'all final thoughts. And like I said, I will see y'all on the next video. Come shop with me now at my Teespring store, KingBritneyChanel Couture. I provide custom apparel and so much more for an affordable price. We have items like leggings, t-shirts, and hoodies. So thank you for shopping, and I hope that you enjoy. Hey honeys, thank you for watching my video, and if you haven't, definitely make sure you check out my Teespring, KingBritneyChanel Couture, where you can find my latest merch. I upload a lot of new designs frequently, so definitely make sure you check it out. We have mugs, we have wall tapestries, canvas art, pillows, fleece blankets, apparel, and so much more. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all on my next video.